minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes.
Second it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous. Payment of the bills, F and G fund vouchers 114 to 119, $928.25. A fund vouchers 339 to 354, $39,991.20.
I make a motion that we authorize the payment of the bills. Second.
Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, okay. Let's see here. Alrighty.
Treasurer's report.
Okay, there.
There won't be.
Yep, all right, so privilege of the floor, once, twice, right? No, okay,
Okay.
all right, old business, new business. Resolution for the new water tank.
Error. Resolution establishing the Village of Homer Mayor as the certifying officer for the Village of Homer Water Storage Tank Replacement Project Environmental Review Record. Whereas the Village of Homer is proposing the Village of Homer Water Storage Tank Replacement Project located in the village and town of Homer, Cortland County, New York. And whereas the village must prepare an environmental review record, ERR, in accordance with the regulations governing the CDBG small cities, towns, and villages programs. And whereas the village must appoint an environmental certifying officer to be responsible for the activities associated with the preparation of the ERR. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the mayor of the Village of Homer is hereby designated as the certifying officer for the village's ERR, and be it further resolved that the mayor is authorized to sign all necessary certifications leading to the completion of the ERR.
Alrighty. Discussion, anybody, 1, 2, 3, you have a motion,
I make a motion that we approve the resolution. Second.
any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okey-doke. All right, next up, approved contract with the town of Homer for festival parking.
So we're gonna change number 4 on this, because I have the wrong dates.
Okay,
So it will say, it's same as number 2, but basically no rents charged for the town hall parking on July 15th, August 12th, and August 18th. They're the Holiday in Homer, Brockway 23rd, and Magic on Main.
gotcha,
So during those events, the horses will be parked here and the vendors, some vendors and entertainment will be parked here. So the parking lot will be blocked off.
all right.
And those are the dates, the rest of the contract.
Okay,
Gonna make a motion that we approve the contract with the town of Homer for festival parking with the amendments that Tanya's just outlined.
Second.
discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next up, approve a contract with Hair Physical Therapy for festival parking.
The village is using them for the Holiday in Homer and the Brockway. The school, by the way, through all of this is doing all the shuttles except the Brockway. The village is paying the school for the Brockway.
Okay,
So they're still gonna run them for all.
they're
of
still
them.
gonna run them, okay,
Yep.
good, all right,
I'll make a motion to accept the agreement between the Village of Homer and Higher Physical Therapy.
I'll second. Oh, I'll second that.
any discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous. Let's see, you approve contract with Coffee Grounds LLC for the Brockway.
So the village needed parking on the other side because the middle school is closed.
Yeah.
We're also using the DPW site here, and that's why Coffee Grounds is being used. This is the James Street site.
Oh, okay,
So,
yeah,
the shuttle will be going there, be heading actually all the way down to CNY Living History Center, the same as the other one, because people can go to both,
good,
and the Methodist Church in the green.
perfect,
Is this Bobby Meeting?
Yeah.
It's Coffee Mania.
Oh, okay.
But it's the ground, it's their property, it's the legal
Coffee-
name of their
Coffee
property,
Grounds is the legal name,
Yeah.
got it.
James.
I'll make a motion that we approve the contract with Coffee Grounds LLC for the Brockway parking. Second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, unanimous. And Approve contract with the CNY Living History Center for parking during the Homer Fire Department 150th and CNY Firefighters Association Convention.
So this shuttle is going between the high school to CNY Living History Center, Route 11, the fire department, and the green. And they're already hosting the other parts of the convention, so this way people can go between that and the 150th.
Okay, I'll move it to accept the agreement between the Village of Homer and the CNY Living History Center for parking.
I'll second it.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
There's probably one more coming at the next board meeting. They're just going through their approval process. So all of this allows us to have the contract so we can provide the insurance. The school, we have to do a permit form, which I'll be doing, and then bring that in, and then there'll be insurance for all of their shit.
All right. Next up, review Village of Homer garbage and recycling pickup program.
So the current rules and penalties the trash, garbage, and recycling penalties are the first page. The second is the suggested amended, as we were talking. This actually wouldn't be approved today. It would be what you want to change it to or make adaptations to, so it's like a discussion. So, because I think it has to go to the next meeting as a public hearing.
Yeah, is that, a local law change or is it
Codes change. at
code
least.
change?
Well, and plus we could get the information out. So, right now, the fines aren't leviable, so this would make it leviable in the amended. And then it was talked about after so many fines on the same exact violation, taking the garbage cans or recycling cans as Cortland does, and then having them pay the old fees to get it back.
Absolutely.
Right now, the county is finding us in recycling because there's so much contamination. It was 526, I think, pounds last time. So where the $10, it was $10 that time, not 10 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Because of the time it's taking them to separate the contamination, they're charging the village. So that's why the village was there's a lot of education, there's notes that come up all the time. Cortland County recycling guidelines and any additional from the village are going out in the water bills. They've been sent out in previous water bills, but on Homer News, we've done special mailings. We did a whole education run at Christmas time, and everybody who would have gotten a fine got a letter on a door knocker to make sure they got it. So, and right now, because of so much, we have 2 employees checking the village and then having to go pick them back up, anything that isn't. And with so many, when you're writing a fine, sometimes the truck goes beyond, so the next couple you don't get to check.
Right.
Or they have it so far at the bottom, like a lot of broken glass was at the bottom, garbage could be at the bottom, so you can't see it. So that's the problem the village is facing and what to do.
Also, I want to have a conversation with Fran, because in another part of the code, 137, which is under housing standards, there is leviable fines, or there's a procedure for that to put on, when that's with garbage, refuse all around your house, things like that, cars in the front yard. We've used it before, so this is in the garbage section code of 131. We just need to see, can they be leaks? Do we just add the same language, whatever?
But these would be the suggestions to go forward and what to say to the residents. So if you still want a third offense, if when pulling the cans or a different number or.
Third offense, pull the cans, yeah.
If we're gonna do that, do we still need to have the 4th, 5th and beyond?
Well, yeah, because they can come and pay the penalty and get the cans back, and then if they do it again, just pull the cans again.
Got it.
We just keep.
That'd be a 4th. Okay.
So it should say once a third is assessed and then say after further ones. Any further
From the
ones.
third offense on, we confiscate the cans. And then you get them back after you pay the fine. Or you arrange for your own garbage hauling.
The first item about putting cans out earlier, not removing. Seems a little different than the other things because it's not what's leading to the fines from the dump. It's another
Yeah.
issue, still an issue, but a different issue.
That was
So I don't know if they should have talked.
That's a quality of life one, yeah, I agree, I can get behind that. I think you're right, I mean, because that's not a big, it's just a negative impact on
Thinking
them.
the same.
the put except fine one,
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
that
I think that
violation.
makes sense. Yeah,
Yeah, that's in another section of the codes too. Now, this doesn't take into account the leaves and branches, but that's also been an issue because some people have been putting leaves, branches and yard waste in the recycling. And it's ineligible for recycling, so it's supposed to go to the compost site.
Do they, if there's, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I mean, if they're picking up, they're putting leaves and branches in the recyclable bins. Why are they picking them up?
Well, the thing is, the truck has one arm, so the garbage hauler doesn't open every can. So it picks it up and just dumps it. So if it says recycling, he presses the lever for recycling. and puts it
Find out after the fact.
yeah,
Yeah.
then we have fines, yeah,
And then we had one that we actually, one of our employees opened and saw it filled with leaves, so he tagged it and it wasn't picked up.
Good.
so we're checking and we're, out there trying to get in front of the truck and check. But like Tanya said, they're sneaking stuff in, they're putting the garbage at the bottom and then recyclables at the top. So that we don't catch them.
Unbelievable.
I know, you should see the pictures of the stuff that they put in the recycling bin, Fran, it's,
One of them was put up on Facebook last time and it was just all garbage, what they piled. So a lot of people, the recycling can't have plastic bags. That's the big one. A lot of it was plastic bags.
when the recycling guy says, and it was filled with feces, which I hope were animal feces. That people are putting the wrong things in a recycling bin.
But some of this is a contract issue I would like to discuss during an executive.
With circuit dollars?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I agree with that too.
Yeah.
Another reason to get the cans coming. Okay,
So if this looks good, we can work on moving it forward to
Yeah.
the next meeting, work with Fran, work with you.
Yep.
And then,
just with that one change of,
so I put in,
their defense except for
Item one.
item one.
and then going beyond, like continuing to follow on that. I put in I mentioned on the front of this, the leaves and branches, because those are only picked up in May and October, and it's codes violation otherwise. So either they're leaving them out or when they're not picked up, because the village doesn't pick them up year round, then they're going into recycling. That's what we're saying.
Fun. All right, anything else on the garbage recycling?
It's an ongoing.
Ongoing,
What exactly did we do with the third offense on number one?
what?
We just keep billing and then
Yeah, we
if
just
it
keep
becomes
charging.
re-leviable, we re-levy in the, or if it is re-leviable and tied, we just re-levy it on the taxes if they don't pay.
I mean, I agree with a little leniency on one because they're just. Might be time, might go out of town, whatever, we don't wanna hammer people for that kind of stuff because that's sometimes out of their control. The other ones are completely in their control.
When the individuals go out and check, they are taking pictures too, so that we could justify whatever set.
All right. Anything else on garbage? Item G, discuss cell service issues in Homer.
Yeah, I got a couple emails and I think I forwarded them to everybody. And I know generally cell service is not something not a village service. So, but it is a kind of a quality of life that maybe we can have a discussion on. I personally don't have issues with my cell service, but, is there anything that we can do to, besides recommend them that they look at a new provider?
Are people having cell service issues?
Yeah. Which I thought was kind of amazing, because I thought for our density that we should,
You would think.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not super great in my place, I'll tell you that, but.
Remember Little League, none of the parents, coaches, or players could have access at Griggs, and that's why the Wi-Fi was installed.
Really,
Remember Plan First donated all that because of that, because they couldn't access the kids' records.
I wonder when they're gonna finally put the 5G in here.
So that's why they installed the Wi-Fi for the village. So that, remember
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, when do they gonna install 5G? The, AT&T and Verizon. It's in the city.
I think somebody else mentioned in the discussion about then whoever has the issue, talk to their provider. And that sometimes the provider will provide not a mobile hotspot, but a
Booster. or something.
a booster.
So what happened when the village installed the Wi-Fi and Plan First did it, people could connect onto there instead when there was no service. So
That's
maybe when
fine.
the Wi-Fi comes downtown, if there was ever,
Well, yeah, it's still like, it's an issue if people can't get cell service in the village, that's a.
So kind of a safety thing too. 'cause
Oh, yeah, it's shocking to me too, that, there's people are having issues that are that bad, but.
Landlines are going the way of the dinosaur.
It's true fact. Okay.
So, tell them to see about a booster.
I guess, I don't know, isn't there a survey that we need to be filling out too for that?
That wasn't that,
Let me
was the
check.
county doing that?
No, let's see. Oh, no, there's a whole. I'll send it to you. That's why I thought you brought it up actually, because we're getting asked to weigh in because they're doing a survey, and I thought it was Central New York Regional Planning and Development Board, but it could be the Southern Tier 8 group.
I think that might be the Southern Tier 8 group.
Yeah, I'll find that and forward it to you, Pat, and then we
Okay.
can fill it out and everything.
But I guess for our current resident, or check with another provider,
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
sure
did it say who his provider is?
Verizon.
It's Verizon?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, doesn't Verizon have Fios?
Yeah, well, not everywhere.
Yeah, but they're just on Clinton Street.
Oh, they're on Clinton? It doesn't go on Clinton or Cayuga for some reason. It only goes on Main Street. Yeah, I don't know why they did it that way. It's really kind of messed up.
You think that at least Cayuga and Clinton too, because those are pretty.
Yeah.
Population and major.
I don't understand their logic for why they do the things that they do. I don't get it. There, no. Yeah, I'll find this, Pat, and send it to you.
Okay.
All right, I don't want to hold up the rest of the meeting. Okay. Anything else? Fran, do you have any comments?
No, I'm just researching a little bit on the garbage issue.
Appreciate that.
So, no, actually, everybody's been great, very helpful. No, I have pretty, okay, so far, I do think, just kidding, I don't want to belabor it, so you passed the initial penalties by resolution
Mhm.
under the section saying in the code, the board has the right to implement rules and regulations.
Yes,
Now you want to further amend that to include the re-levy portion, correct?
yes.
Unless it ties the way Dan mentioned.
But why don't you just use that same language?
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. I was looking that up. See this mother. And in my understanding again, that. Again, belabor, the village, once you become a resident of the village, you have to contract with one of these vendors for waste disposal services? No.
We do it. I think we put the names of the other people on the bottom if we wind up taking your cans away and never give them back.
I see. So you have a vendor right now that does it for the village.
Yeah,
And then with the names were in case you get off the village list here.
Yeah.
about
Or
three
you're a
four other. Okay,
yeah,
Okay.
or, yeah, businesses too, yeah.
okay. No, everything's been going okay so far.
Good. Glad that you're back. Uh, All right, comments by board members? Ed,
Welcome back, Fran.
Thanks.
I'm wholly in line with using our ARPA money to buy cans, and the sooner the better, because it's a good move and it'll force the city to, do something. If not, then we can be our own boss on this. And so, and even if we go to another vendor, at least it makes it fair to all bidders versus, because that's a big hit, 150K. So, yeah, all for it. Everything we talked about in the work session was great. And yeah, it's all good. I'll be in tomorrow.
very good. All right,
I just thank everybody for their time during the work session today. It really did feel like there's a lot of good stuff happening for the village, and it's an exciting time with the DRI. I hope that people are very cognizant of the deadline coming on August 1st, and they're coming in with their project ideas so that the list is ready to go.
I hope so too. Kevin.
I got a little something.
figure.
So, nothing big. Just at the last meeting, I had mentioned something about the handicap parking that was at the fire minister.
Sure.
Just because. And I don't want to go into it too deeply, so I don't want to piss off the fire department more than I already have. But the next night I got a phone call from Tim Nash
Okay,
saying that they do provide handicap parking, but you kind of have to ask, because there was no sign. And then I talked to other guys that said the same thing. But Tim did say that if you ask, they will provide handicap parking, and if you need help with your wheelchair or any assistance that, they would also provide that service. So I retract my statement, apologize to the fire department, and commend them for everything that they do. But I would make a suggestion that somehow in the future with the parking, whatever they move, wherever, that there is appropriate signage. Because I wouldn't want somebody to drive in, do an event that they're having
right,
and leave because
right,
they didn't stop to ask.
right. Well, it was nice of you to retract that. I think your concern's valid. I think we need to let people know that if they ask, they're. And it doesn't surprise me that the fire department would be very helpful in that kind of situation, but
Yeah.
without signing,
You know, so if anybody's on the listening or whatever.
yeah, without signage, they wouldn't know. Right, no, that's a good point.
That's awesome.
All right,
Patrick. I think along with that, so we've addressed the issue. I think our solution is we have DPW, somebody create a handicap parking sandwich board that we can use for parking events.
Or unmovables.
Right, a movable,
Yeah.
like an A-frame sandwich board
yeah,
that can be with a handicap emblem on it. And we can direct probably DPW to make it.
yeah,
I know Phil will like that. And then we can use it for parking events and just
It's a great
portable
idea.
and put it wherever we need to.
Great idea. Yeah, I love it. Great idea.
Because what I heard was I really know how to get Tim riled up.
You and me both.
I guess.
The second thing was, so we had the work session, and for those that are interested, it covered about 20 different items. Mostly giving updates and discussing, grants and, other things that we have going on. These are about 20 projects that we have going on concurrently. And, a lot of balls that we're juggling, so we're trying to make sure that we keep them all up in the air. And that's what that was about, for our work session. So that was very helpful from the staff. Thank you. And then, you're gonna talk about the parking. Those that assisted with the parking. Thank you.
Oh, no, I would, well, yeah, I want, like, I was gonna actually write on a little note, but you kind of ruined the surprise there, but yeah, I want to thank everybody that participated in, our sessions for figuring out what we're gonna do with the parking, this, summer, because we've got probably the busiest summer since I've lived in the village, as far as just the sheer number of events and what we've got going on, and then we also have a time when all the parking lots are gone because they're getting repaired. So I appreciate that everyone came together and came up with all these different solutions. It really speaks well of the different organizations and individuals in the village who really it's great that they can just, come together and come up with solutions and make all these events happen and make sure that they're successful
There's more laps available if, we end up needing
if we
more.
need them. And yeah, and then a special thanks to the school too, for the fact that they're gonna run these shuttles. That's nice. That saves a lot of money for the village.
First concert on the green went very well.
Did it?
Yes.
Good, old timer?
Yep. Yeah,
Good.
great turnout, great weather.
Good.
Kids playing on one half of the green. Everybody else watching and listening music on the other half.
Oh, good. Very good. All right, questions from the media before we go?
Thank you. Was an issue of enforceability for your recycling penalties before? Very interested about that.
I'm not sure what you're asking.
Well, are there proposed penalties for violating the recycling rules now?
What are they, or?
There are some that are already in place, right?
Yeah, we have them in place. People are still. They're just either ignoring them or they're being really sneaky and putting the garbage in the bottom and then recyclables on top so they don't get caught, but we're getting pretty significant fines from the county.
Oh, what kind of fines? Do you know the amounts?
What was the
Well,
last?
they just started with 200 and then they go from there. There'll be more as more time is spent. So they started with 200 over a couple days, but then they grow. And then they have to either move it to the garbage to the landfill, or our employees have to go and move it to the landfill. So the cost is both of it. And each load drop off is supposed to have fines now, not just a total like that.
So they're
So-
starting to,
They're ramping up.
it's gonna
Yeah.
be significant.
They-
Right?
Okay.
Chris is the one that we're dealing with there, and he was trying not to charge any, and the employees were going to pick it up. And then as it's got progressively worse, that's why the fines are starting.
Right. I wrote a story a year ago about that. Is it stayed bad or is it?
It got a little better for a while, but
Yeah.
then it's gotten bad again, yeah. Yeah.
And are they proposing changes to the penalties or?
Well, yeah, instead of penalizing us, the one amount for the day, it's gonna be for each load, each contaminated load that comes in, it's gonna get a penalty.
You know how much?
No, we're still waiting.
I asked for a fine schedule from the county. I haven't received one yet.
Okay. So when you're talking about the fees, these are your own penalties, these are the county's fees.
Well, the county's got theirs where they penalize us, we're changing ours,
Okay,
we're not increasing them, but we're basically putting in there that after the third offense, we pull your garbage cans.
that's a new part. Okay.
This is the new part, and then we hold them until you pay the fine, and then you can have them back.
Do you know what the fine is per violation?
Oh, yeah, we can give you a copy.
Oh,
of
that's
it.
okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's, and the only thing is, we're not gonna have the can confiscation for the first item on the fine schedule, which is leaving the cans out too long or putting them out too early, because that's one of those things that, you know, maybe went on vacation, whatever,
Those are current fine schedule.
so,
That's less of an issue.
Yeah.
yeah.
It would be the same, except that the third,
That's the only.
yeah, and then we were adding the point that it would be re-leviable.
Because if
Eventually.
they mix the loads is when you get hit with a fee. So that's when they'll start getting penalties.
Yeah, and it's not even, sometimes they mix loads and sometimes they just put straight garbage in the recycling.
Or leaves.
Yeah, or that, yeah, it's just all sorts of stuff that shouldn't be there.
Okay,
The pictures are, we get pictures from the recycling center and it's clear, it's not. It's not one of those things where it's like, well, I looked on the bottom and it had a 4 on the and I thought that was, so I threw that in there, no, it's like. Flat out garbage, yard waste,
no,
pretty nasty
in the recycling.
in the recycling,
What if they would put the separate cans for garbage and recycling, right?
yeah.
So some of those things could actually go into the garbage.
They should be, and the
Alright,
probably they're filling up their garbage can and they're putting the excess in the recycling.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah, that's the issue.
They're the 95-gallon ones.
And,
95 miles.
yeah, and we have a program where if you need an extra garbage can, you can get one for, it's like, what, little, what, 170?
170, but if you're in a single house or a double house, if you have 3 or more units, you actually can get 2 for free and 2 recycling for free. A few residents have chosen to go to smaller ones, but those houses haven't had issues.
Okay,
So,
Yeah,
and you have an issue for, you said executive session about the contract, is it about this or something else?
Just overall, overall things with Syracuse College contract, and we're also deciding maybe to get our own bins and therefore we have to develop another contract with a different hauler, you know, so that's all.
So those you pay for yourself, but right now they're done through Syracuse Laws.
yeah.
Right, exactly, that's their bins are Syracuse College.
And this, yeah, and the issue is we don't own them.
Mhm.
And if we want to go out to bid again, which we do,
All right,
a new company would have to provide the village with all the bins, and they don't want to do that for a 1 or 2 year contract that they then lose.
okay,
So we're not getting any bids. So when we buy our own garbage cans, then we can get bids from them all over.
okay.
So,
Did you try to bid and you were able to, or? Oh,
yeah, I mean, we
Looked
got
at some-
like
yeah.
3 total bids. I know Blue Moose,
Mhm.
Syracuse Hollers, and there might have been one other. It was just the 2. It was just the 2. And yeah, Blue Moose's was a lot higher.
Because of how to divide
Because
it.
of having good cans, yeah.
the cost was $175,000 was that the figure that I mentioned?
I don't think it's that much.
Or,
For the entirety of all the bins.
For all the, yeah, for all of them,
All the bins would be about 150,000.
yeah.
okay, and you
That's what we're
We
kind of
did bid that
allocating we're remaining ARPA funds towards that.
okay with our.
Yeah. And they'll be actually the same vendor as the city used.
Mhm.
So the same bins, just ours will be different colors.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions?
No,
All right.
no, that's.
Eddie, any questions? Once, twice, thrice. Right then. I would entertain a motion to go into executive session per New York State Public Officers Law, Article 7, Section 105, to discuss a contractual matter.
I'll second that.
All right, that's at 7:35.